Which four-letter word beginning with R is a large, flightless South American bird resembling a small ostrich? Rhea. A rhea is a large, flightless bird native to South America, belonging to the family Rheae. These cursural birds are known for their strong legs and speed, resembling smaller ostriches or emus found in the grasslands and savannas of their habitat. Which four-letter word beginning with S refers to an Arab marketplace or bazaar? Souk. A souk is a traditional marketplace or bazaar commonly found in North Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. These vibrant hubs have historically served as crucial centers for trade, social interaction, and cultural exchange within their communities. Which four-letter word beginning with U refers to the pigmented layer of the eye, lying beneath the sclera and cornea, and comprising the iris, choroid, and ciliary body? Uvea. The uvea is the middle, pigmented layer of the eye, crucial for various visual functions. It consists of three main parts. The iris controls pupil size, the ciliary body produces aqueous humor and aids focusing, and the choroid supplies blood to the retina. Which four-letter word beginning with V describes a small, usually glass, closable container for holding liquids? Vial. A vial is a small, often cylindrical, closable container typically made of glass or plastic. It is commonly used in medical, laboratory, and pharmaceutical settings to store liquids, powders, or small samples, offering a secure and sterile environment. Which four-letter word beginning with X refers to an Arctic fork-tailed gull? Exeme. A exeme is another name for the Sabinus gull, Zema sabini, a small, distinctive Arctic gull. It is characterized by its elegant flight, black fork-tailed appearance, and is a migratory species, breeding in the Arctic tundra and wintering offshore. Which four-letter word beginning with Y is the basic monetary unit of China, equal to 100 fen? Yuan. The yuan is the basic unit of the renminbi, RMB, which is the official currency of the People's Republic of China. Internationally, the currency is often referred to as the Chinese yuan, and it is subdivided into smaller units known as zhao and fen. Which four-letter word beginning with Z is an ornamental metal cup-shaped holder for holding a coffee cup? Zarf. A zarf is an ornamental cup-shaped holder, typically made of metal such as silver or brass, designed to hold a coffee cup, especially those without handles. Originating in the Ottoman Empire, it served both a practical purpose, protecting hands from heat, and an aesthetic one, adding elegance to coffee service. Which British satirical and current affairs magazine was first published in 1961? Private Eye. Private Eye is a well-known British satirical and current affairs magazine, founded in 1961. It is famous for its investigative journalism, exposés, and irreverent humor, making it a significant publication in British media and culture. A jeweled copy of which famous book of poems was among the cargo lost on the Titanic? The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. A highly ornate, jeweled copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam was indeed among the valuable cargo that sank with the RMS Titanic in 1912. This particular edition was bound in leather, adorned with thousands of jewels, and destined for a collector in the United States. Who authored the 1953 novel, The Go-Between? L. P. Hartley. The Go-Between is a classic 1953 novel by British writer L. P. Hartley, exploring themes of class, memory, and the loss of innocence. It is renowned for its memorable opening line, "The past is a foreign country, they do things differently there." What type of creature is a Papio hamadryas? Baboon, Hamadryas baboon. Papio hamadryas is the scientific name for the hamadryas baboon, a species of baboon native to the Horn of Africa and the southwestern Arabian Peninsula. These primates are known for their distinctive social structure, including a male-dominated harem system. What was the title of the first BBC television series sold to the Soviet Union? The Forsyte Saga. The Forsyte Saga, a classic BBC drama adaptation of John Galsworthy's novels, was a landmark in international television distribution. Its sale to the Soviet Union in the late 1960s marked a significant cultural exchange during the Cold War era. The Kingdom of Dahomey was an African kingdom located in which present-day republic? Benin. The Kingdom of Dahomey was a powerful West African kingdom that existed from approximately 1600 until 1894, located in the present-day country of Benin. It was historically significant for its highly organized state, its economy based on trade, and its formidable all-female military unit, the Dahomey Amazons. Hymenopterus formicida is the scientific name for which insect? Ant. Hymenoptera is an order of insects that includes ants, bees, and wasps. Formicidae is the biological family name for ants, making Hymenopterus formicidae a precise scientific classification for these social insects. In which UK city is Pleasure Beach railway station? Blackpool. Blackpool Pleasure Beach is a famous amusement park located in Blackpool, Lancashire, England. The railway station serves the amusement park, making it a key landmark in the city and a point of interest for local geography. Which Bronte sister used the pseudonym Currer Bell? Charlotte Bronte. Charlotte Bronte, a prominent English novelist and poet, adopted the male pseudonym Currer Bell to ensure her works were taken seriously in the male-dominated literary world of the 19th century. Her most famous novel published under this name is Jane Eyre. Which Austrian composer is known as the father of the string quartet? Joseph Haydn. Joseph Haydn, an influential Austrian composer of the classical era, is widely known as the father of the string quartet for his significant contributions to the development and standardization of this musical form. He composed over 68 string quartets, establishing the genre's structure and expressive potential. Salim Sinai is the chief protagonist and narrator in which 1980 novel by Salman Rushdie? Midnight's Children. Salim Sinai is the central character and narrator in Salman Rushdie's acclaimed 1980 novel, Midnight's Children. The novel, a work of magical realism, chronicles India's transition from British colonialism to independence through the eyes of children born at the stroke of midnight on August 15, 1947. The Morganza Spillway, or Morganza Control Structure, is on the western bank of which U.S. river? Mississippi River. The Morganza Spillway is a floodgate complex located on the western bank of the Mississippi River in Louisiana, USA. It is a critical component of the Mississippi River flood control system, designed to divert excess water from the main river channel during major floods, protecting downstream communities like New Orleans. What was the Roman name for the English city of Lincoln? Lindum Colonia. Lindum Colonia was a significant Roman town, established around 60 AD. Its name is the origin of the modern city of Lincoln in England, reflecting its historical importance as a Roman administrative and military center and its strategic location. Which spaceflight first landed humans on the Moon in July 1969? Apollo 11. Apollo 11 was the spaceflight that successfully landed the first humans, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, on the Moon on July 20, 1969. This historic mission marked a monumental achievement for NASA and humankind, fulfilling President John F. Kennedy's goal. Boris Tadic became president of which European country in July 2004? Serbia. Boris Tadic served as the president of Serbia from 2004 to 2012, playing a key role in the country's post-Milosevic era. His presidency focused on pro-European policies, democratic reforms, and regional cooperation, contributing to Serbia's integration efforts with the European Union. The medical condition dactylitis is the inflammation of which part of the body? Digit, finger or toe. Dactylitis is a medical condition characterized by inflammation of an entire digit, meaning a finger or a toe. It often presents with diffuse swelling, pain, and tenderness, commonly associated with inflammatory conditions like psoriatic arthritis or sickle cell disease. Burgenland, Tyrol, and Vorarlberg are all states in which European country? Austria. Burgenland, Tyrol, and Vorarlberg are 3 of the 9 federal states, Länder, that constitute the Republic of Austria. These regions exhibit distinct geographical features, cultural traditions, and economic characteristics, contributing to Austria's diverse landscape and federal structure. Who was the first U.S. president to serve 3 full terms in office? Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the only U.S. president to serve more than 2 terms, having been elected 4 times and serving 3 full terms, 1933 to 1945, during the Great Depression and World War II. His unprecedented tenure led to the ratification of the 22nd Amendment, limiting future presidents to 2 terms. In the Christian calendar, which day comes after Maundy Thursday? Good Friday. Maundy Thursday commemorates the Last Supper of Jesus Christ with his apostles before his crucifixion. Good Friday immediately follows, observing the crucifixion and death of Jesus, making it a solemn day in the Christian calendar. Dogs Playing What is a collection of paintings by which artist? C.M. Coolidge. The famous series of paintings, Dogs Playing Poker, was created by Cassius Marcellus Coolidge. These iconic artworks, commissioned in 1903, depict anthropomorphized dogs engaged in various poker games. Who wrote the book, On the Origin of Species in 1859? Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species, published in 1859, introduced the groundbreaking scientific theory of evolution by natural selection. This seminal work revolutionized biology and profoundly shaped modern scientific thought. The Montreux Jazz Festival is held annually in which European country? Switzerland. The Montreux Jazz Festival is a prestigious annual music festival held in Montreux, Switzerland. Founded in 1967, it is globally renowned for featuring legendary jazz, blues, and rock artists, drawing a vast international audience. What type of animal is a kudu? Antelope. A kudu is a large species of antelope native to the woodlands of eastern and southern Africa. Recognized for its striking spiral horns and distinctive white stripes, the kudu is an iconic part of African wildlife. In which year in the 21st century did the U.S. Senate pass a resolution apologizing for slavery? 2009. The U.S. Senate passed a resolution in 2009 apologizing for the institution of slavery and the subsequent Jim Crow laws. This bipartisan resolution acknowledged the fundamental injustice, cruelty, brutality, and inhumanity of slavery and its enduring legacy of racism. The SANDF is the armed forces of which country? South Africa. SANDF stands for the South African National Defence Force, which is the armed force of the Republic of South Africa. It was established in 1994, replacing the South African Defence Force, and is responsible for national defence and international peacekeeping operations. The Ao Dai is the traditional dress of women in which Asian country? Vietnam. The áo dai is the traditional national garment for women in Vietnam. It is a long, split tunic worn over trousers, embodying elegance and cultural heritage. Which country lies in the Eastern Pyrenees between France and Spain? Andorra. Andorra is a small, independent principality situated in the Eastern Pyrenees Mountains, bordered by France to the north and Spain to the south. It is the sixth smallest nation in Europe and is known for its status as a tax haven and popular ski resorts. Mount Apo is the highest point in which Asian country? Philippines. Mount Apo is an active stratovolcano and the highest mountain in the Philippines, located on the island of Mindanao. Its elevation is 2,954 meters, 9,692 feet, above sea level, making it a significant geographical feature and a national park known for its rich biodiversity. What is the U.S. state capital of Utah? Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is the capital and most populous municipality of the U.S. state of Utah. It serves as the economic and cultural hub of the Intermountain West, notably known for its founding by Brigham Young and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The Rodney riots took place on which Caribbean island in October 1968? Jamaica. The Rodney riots, also known as the Rodney Affair, occurred in Jamaica in October 1968. These protests were sparked by the Jamaican government's ban on Guyanese historian and activist Walter Rodney from re-entering the country, highlighting issues of social justice and academic freedom. What is protophobia, specifically regarding fear of disease or pain in which part of the body? Rectum. Protophobia is a specific phobia characterized by an intense and irrational fear of disease or pain in the rectum. Phobias are a type of anxiety disorder, and this term highlights a highly specific manifestation of such fears. Which satellite facilitated the first transatlantic satellite broadcast in 1962? Telstar. Telstar 1 was the first active communications satellite to transmit live television signals across the Atlantic Ocean in 1962. This groundbreaking achievement marked a significant milestone in global communication technology, revolutionizing intercontinental communication. Who was the French sculptor responsible for the design of the U.S. Statue of Liberty? Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi. Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi was the French sculptor who designed the Statue of Liberty, a colossal neoclassical sculpture gifted by France to the United States. Dedicated in 1886, it stands as a universal symbol of liberty and democracy. In which London building are British monarchs traditionally crowned? Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey is a large, mainly Gothic abbey church in the city of Westminster, London. It has been the traditional place of coronation for English and British monarchs since 1066, and is also a common burial site for them. What is 1500 expressed in Roman numerals? MD. Roman numerals are a numerical system that originated in ancient Rome. In this system, M represents 1000 and D represents 500, thus, MD combines to represent the number 1500. Which is the largest natural lake in England? Lake Windermere. Lake Windermere is the largest natural lake in England, located entirely within the Lake District National Park in Cumbria. It is a ribbon lake formed in a glacial trough, renowned for its scenic beauty and role in regional tourism. Which microorganism is primarily responsible for making bread rise? Yeast. Yeast, a single-celled fungus, is crucial in bread making due to its ability to ferment sugars. During fermentation, yeast produces carbon dioxide gas, which gets trapped in the dough's gluten network, causing the bread to rise and creating a light, airy texture. What activity do pavan, polonaise, and polka all represent? Dance. Pavan, Polonaise, and polka are distinct forms of dance, each originating from different historical and cultural contexts. The Pavan is a slow, processional court dance from the Renaissance, while the Polonaise is a stately Polish dance. The polka is a lively dance and musical genre of Bohemian origin, widely popular in the 19th century. In the US in the 1920s and 1930s, what was the slang term, Chicago piano, used to refer to? Machine gun. Chicago piano was a notorious slang term for the Thompson submachine gun, widely used by gangsters during the Prohibition era in the United States, 1920s–1930s. This term became synonymous with the widespread gang violence and organized crime that characterized the period. In which European city was Giacomo Casanova born? Venice. Giacomo Casanova, the renowned 18th-century Venetian adventurer and author, was born in Venice. He is primarily famous for his extensive memoirs, Histoire de ma vie, Story of My Life, which offer a unique glimpse into European society and culture of the Enlightenment period. What is the traditional color of a wedding dress in China? Red. In traditional Chinese culture, red is the customary color for wedding dresses and ceremonies. Red symbolizes good fortune, happiness, prosperity, and love, making it a central and auspicious color in celebratory events, particularly weddings. The Darya-i-Noor pink diamond is part of the crown jewels of which country? Iran. The Darya-i-Noor, Sea of Light, is one of the largest and most famous pink diamonds in the world, originally from the Kollur mine in India. It is a prominent and historically significant component of the Iranian crown jewels, symbolizing the historical wealth and power of the Persian Empire. Who was the mother of the Greek god Eros? Aphrodite. In Greek mythology, Eros is the god of sexual attraction, desire, and love. He is most commonly identified as the son of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and procreation, and sometimes associated with Ares, the god of war. How many children did Queen Victoria and Prince Albert have? 9. Queen Victoria and Prince Albert had 9 children, a large family whose strategic marriages across European royal houses significantly shaped the continent's history. Their numerous descendants earned Queen Victoria the moniker, Grandmother of Europe. Who was said to have laid his cloak over a puddle for Queen Elizabeth I? Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh was an English explorer, soldier, and writer, known for his courtly charm and is a favorite of Queen Elizabeth I. The anecdote of him laying his cloak over a puddle to prevent the Queen from getting her feet wet is a famous, though likely apocryphal, tale symbolizing his chivalry and devotion to the monarch during the Elizabethan era. What is the name of the 17th century monk who is believed to have contributed significantly to the invention of champagne? Dom Perignon. Dom Pierre Perignon was a Benedictine monk who made important contributions to the development of champagne wine in the late 17th and early 18th centuries. While he did not invent sparkling wine, his innovations in blending grapes, perfecting bottling techniques, and securing corks were crucial to the creation and popularization of champagne. On which date is St. Valentine's Day traditionally celebrated? The 14th of February. St. Valentine's Day is an annual festival celebrated on February 14 to commemorate romantic love, friendship, and admiration. Originating as a Christian feast day honoring one or two early Christian martyrs named Saint Valentine, it has evolved into a significant cultural and commercial celebration of romance globally. Which English romantic poet owned a Newfoundland dog named Boatswain? Lord Byron. Lord Byron, 1788 to 1824, was a seminal figure of the Romantic movement in English literature, renowned for his narrative poems and dramatic works. His deep affection for his Newfoundland dog, Boatswain, was famously expressed in his poem, Epitaph to a Dog. Which two colors are prominently featured on the flag of the Arab League? Green and white. The flag of the Arab League prominently features the pan-Arab colors, often including green, white, black, and red. Green typically symbolizes prosperity or the Rashidun Caliphate, while white often represents purity or the Umayyad Caliphate. These colors collectively embody Arab unity and historical heritage. What is the Latin name for the beech tree? Fagus sylvatica. Fagus sylvatica is the scientific name for the European beech, a prominent deciduous tree species known for its smooth bark and characteristic leaves. This binomial nomenclature, established by Carl Linnaeus, provides a universally recognized classification crucial for botanical studies. Which gemstone is known as the bishop's stone? Amethyst. Amethyst, a purple variety of quartz, has historically been known as the bishop's stone due to its long-standing association with royalty, clergy, and spiritual significance. Its deep violet color symbolizes piety, wisdom, and sobriety, making it a popular choice for ecclesiastical jewelry. What do the French Appellation d'origine contrôlée, oak, laws regulate? Wine. The French Appellation d'origine contrôlée, oak, system is a geographical indication that certifies the origin and quality of agricultural products, predominantly wine. It ensures that products are produced within specific geographical regions using traditional methods, thereby protecting their authenticity and linking them to their unique terroir. Who became the president of China in 2003? Hu Jintao. Hu Jintao served as the President of the People's Republic of China from 2003 to 2013. He also held the position of General Secretary of the Communist Party of China from 2002 to 2012, playing a pivotal role in China's development during that decade. Which US president is depicted on the $2 bill? Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, the third US president, is featured on the obverse of the $2 bill. He was a principal author of the Declaration of Independence and a key figure in the early development of the United States. What is the scientific study or exploration of caves called? Speleology. Speleology is the scientific study of caves and other karst features, including their physical properties, formation, life forms, and history. It encompasses various disciplines like geology, hydrology, biology, and archaeology. What was the first name of U.S. Army officer Custer, who died at the Battle of the Little Bighorn in 1876? George Armstrong Custer was a U.S. Army officer and cavalry commander in the American Civil War and the American Indian Wars. He is most famously known for his defeat and death at the Battle of the Little Bighorn in 1876, often referred to as Custer's Last Stand. Who is the title character in William Shakespeare's play, The Merchant of Venice? Antonio. In William Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice, Antonio is a wealthy merchant of Venice, central to the play's plot through his bond with Shylock. Although Bassanio's love story is prominent, Antonio's financial predicament drives the primary conflict. In which European country is the city of Geneva located? Switzerland. Geneva is the second most populous city in Switzerland and a global hub for diplomacy and banking. It is home to numerous international organizations, including the European headquarters of the United Nations and the Red Cross. Varig Airlines was the first airline founded in which South American country? Brazil. Varig S.A., Viacao Area Rio Grandense, was Brazil's first airline, founded in 1927. It played a crucial role in the development of Brazilian aviation and was once Latin America's largest airline, connecting Brazil to many international destinations. Who was the only British Prime Minister to hold office during the reigns of 3 British monarchs? Stanley Baldwin. Stanley Baldwin served as Prime Minister 3 times between 1923 and 1937. His tenure notably spanned the reigns of King George V, King Edward VIII, and King George VI, making him unique in British political history for serving under 3 different monarchs. A shote, or shote, is the young of which animal? Pig. A shote, also sometimes spelled shote, is a term used to describe a young pig. This specific terminology is part of zoological vocabulary that can appear in general science sections of competitive exams. Catherine Hogarth was the wife of which British novelist? Charles Dickens. Catherine Hogarth was the wife of the renowned British novelist Charles Dickens, known for classics like Oliver Twist and Great Expectations. They married in 1836 and had 10 children, though their marriage later became strained. Former Dutch Guiana is now known by what name? Suriname. Dutch Guiana was a former Dutch colony located on the northeastern coast of South America. It gained independence from the Netherlands in 1975 and is now known as the Republic of Suriname, making it the smallest sovereign state in South America. Which Asian country is bordered by Myanmar, Burma, Laos, Cambodia, and Malaysia? Thailand. Thailand, located in Southeast Asia, shares its northern and western borders with Myanmar, formerly Burma, and Laos. To its east, it borders Cambodia, and to the south, it shares a land border with Malaysia, showcasing its strategic geographical position in the region. Where in our solar system is the Sea of Showers located? On the Moon. The Sea of Showers, known as Mare Imbrium, is one of the largest lunar maria, a vast lava plain on the Moon's near side. It was formed by ancient volcanic eruptions and is a prominent feature visible from Earth, signifying a significant impact basin. In Greek mythology, which goddess transformed Actaeon into a stag after he saw her bathing, leading to his demise by his own dogs? Artemis. In Greek mythology, Actaeon, a hunter, inadvertently witnessed the virgin goddess Artemis bathing. Enraged by this transgression, Artemis punished him by transforming him into a stag, which led to him being hunted down and killed by his own hounds. What type of creature is a serval? Cat. A serval is a medium-sized wild cat native to Africa, characterized by its long legs, large ears, and spotted coat. They are highly efficient hunters, primarily preying on rodents, birds, and small reptiles in their savanna habitats. Dorsodinia is a medical term for pain in which part of the body? Back. Dorsodinia refers to pain located in the dorsal or thoracic region of the spine, commonly known as back pain. It can stem from various causes, including muscular strain, ligamentous sprains, disc herniation, or underlying spinal conditions. The Mont Blanc Tunnel connects which 2 countries? France and Italy. The Mont Blanc Tunnel is a major vehicular tunnel in the Alps, linking Chamonix in France with Courmayeur in Italy. Opened in 1965, it serves as a vital artery for transport and commerce, facilitating efficient passage through the formidable Alpine mountain range. An onager is what type of animal? Ass. An onager is a wild ass species native to the arid and semi-arid regions of the Middle East and Central Asia. Known for its distinct light brown coat and dorsal stripe, several subspecies are critically endangered due to habitat loss and hunting. Who was the elder brother of Napoleon I of France, appointed King of Spain in 1808? Joseph Bonaparte. Joseph Bonaparte, Napoleon I's elder brother, was installed as King of Spain and the Indies in 1808 after Napoleon's forces invaded the Iberian Peninsula. His reign was largely unstable and unpopular, directly contributing to the outbreak of the Peninsular War. Who was the mother of British monarch King George versus? Alexandra of Denmark. Alexandra of Denmark was the wife of King Edward VII and mother of King George V, who reigned from 1910 to 1936. She served as Queen Consort of the United Kingdom and the British Dominions, and Empress of India. After completing which number symphony did composers Beethoven and Schubert both die? 9. Both Ludwig van Beethoven and Franz Schubert famously died after completing their Ninth Symphony. For Beethoven, his Ninth Symphony is one of the most celebrated works in classical music, while Schubert's Ninth is also a significant composition. Which US state is known as the Land of Enchantment? New Mexico. New Mexico adopted the Land of Enchantment as its official state nickname in 1935. The nickname reflects the state's diverse natural beauty, rich cultural heritage, and vibrant artistic scene. Which is the smallest state by area in the United States? Rhode Island. Rhode Island is officially known as the state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. It holds the distinction of being the smallest state in the US by land area, covering approximately 1,214 square miles. What does the Latin phrase, res ipsa loquitur, mean in English? The thing speaks for itself. Res ipsa loquitur is a Latin maxim often used in legal contexts, particularly in tort law. It signifies that the facts of a case are so obvious that they speak for themselves, implying negligence without requiring further direct proof. What are the green flower buds commonly used in tartar sauce called? Capers. Capers are edible flower buds of the caper bush, Capparis spinosa, native to the Mediterranean region. They are pickled and used as a condiment, adding a distinctive tangy, salty flavor to various dishes, including tartar sauce. Who became the Prime Minister of India in January 1966? Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi assumed office as the Prime Minister of India in January 1966, following the death of Lal Bahadur Shastri. She became India's first and, to date, only female Prime Minister, serving 4 terms in total. Which British author, known for A Clockwork Orange, had a blue plaque unveiled in October 2012 at Manchester University, where he was an alumnus? Anthony Burgess. Anthony Burgess was a prolific British writer and composer, best known for his dystopian novel, A Clockwork Orange. The blue plaque at Manchester University commemorates his significant contribution to literature and his connection to the institution where he studied English language and literature. In 1959, Luna 2 became the first man-made object to impact which celestial body? The Moon. Luna 2 was the second of the Soviet Union's Luna program spacecraft launched to the Moon. On September 14, 1959, it successfully impacted the lunar surface, becoming the first human-made object to reach another celestial body, marking a significant milestone in space exploration. Which part of the human body is primarily affected by the medical condition ichthyosis? The skin. Ichthyosis refers to a group of genetic skin disorders characterized by dry, scaly, or thickened skin, resembling fish scales. These conditions are typically caused by mutations in genes responsible for maintaining skin barrier function, leading to excessive keratinization. What is a female mouse called? Doe. A doe is a term used to refer to the female of several animal species, including deer, goats, rabbits, kangaroos, and mice. This term is part of standard zoological terminology. Donatello's bronze statue of David shows David's foot on whose severed head? Goliath's. Donatello's bronze, David, is a masterpiece of the early Renaissance, sculpted between 1440 and 1443. It depicts the youthful David triumphant over the slain giant Goliath, whose head lies beneath David's foot, symbolizing the victory of innocence over brute force. Mount Nemrut is located in which country? Turkey. Mount Nemrut is a 2,134-meter high mountain in southeastern Turkey, notable for the summit where a number of large statues are erected around what is assumed to be a royal tomb from the 1st century BC. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, renowned for its colossal stone heads and ancient monumental tomb sanctuary. Sir William Vernon Harcourt served as Home Secretary in which British Prime Minister's government? William Gladstone. Sir William Vernon Harcourt was a prominent British Liberal statesman who served as Home Secretary under Prime Minister William Gladstone. Harcourt played a significant role in several Liberal governments, contributing to important reforms during the late Victorian era. Toxicology is the study of what in humans? Childbirth. Toxicology is a specialized field within medicine that focuses on the study of childbirth, pregnancy, and obstetrics. It encompasses all aspects related to the physiological and pathological processes of human reproduction from conception through the postpartum period. The rufiya is the currency of which island group? Maldives. The Maldivian rufiya, MVR, is the official currency of the Republic of Maldives, an island nation located in the Indian Ocean. The currency is subdivided into 100 lari and its value is managed by the Maldives Monetary Authority. Who was the father of King Henry I, the English monarch? William the Conqueror. William the Conqueror, also known as William I, was the first Norman king of England, reigning from 1066 until his death in 1087. He was the father of King Henry I, whose reign from 1100 to 1135 significantly shaped the early English monarchy and its administrative structure. What is the denomination of a yellow euro banknote? 200 euros. The 200 euro banknote is characterized by its yellow color. It is one of the higher denominations of the euro currency, featuring architectural styles representing the Art Nouveau and Art Deco periods. In which ocean are the Marshall Islands located? Pacific Ocean. The Marshall Islands are an island nation situated in the western Pacific Ocean. This Micronesian country is known for its atolls and islands, lying north of the equator and east of Micronesia. In which Italian city is the Triton Fountain, located in Piazza Barberini? Rome. The Triton Fountain, or Fontana del Tritone, is a prominent Baroque fountain situated in Piazza Barberini, Rome. Designed by Gian Lorenzo Bernini in the 17th century for Pope Urban VIII, it features the sea god Triton. What was the first name of British Field Marshal Kitchener, a central figure in the early stages of the First World War? Horatio. Horatio Herbert Kitchener was a prominent British Field Marshal and statesman who served as Secretary of State for War during the initial years of World War I. His iconic image was famously used on Lord Kitchener Wants You recruitment posters. Abyssinia was the former name of which present-day country? Ethiopia. Abyssinia was the historical name for the country now known as Ethiopia, located in the Horn of Africa. It holds distinction as one of the world's oldest independent nations, maintaining a rich cultural and political history. What is the technical term for the pin or bolt that forms the pivot of a hinge? Pintle. A pintle is a fixed pin or bolt upon which another part pivots, commonly found in hinge mechanisms. This component is essential in mechanical engineering for enabling controlled rotational movement between two connected elements. Milwaukee Deep is recognized as the deepest point in which ocean? Atlantic Ocean. The Milwaukee Deep, located within the Puerto Rico Trench, represents the deepest point in the Atlantic Ocean. It reaches an impressive depth of approximately 8,376 meters, 27,480 feet, and is a significant bathymetric feature. King John of England died in which specific English castle in 1216? Newark Castle. King John of England, famous for signing the Magna Carta, died at Newark Castle in Nottinghamshire in October 1216. His death occurred amidst the First Barons' War, a period of profound political instability in England. Which English county is home to Whipsnade Zoo? Bedfordshire. Whipsnade Zoo, officially ZSL Whipsnade Zoo, is a large zoo and wildlife park located in Whipsnade, Bedfordshire, England. It is one of the UK's largest conservation zoological parks and home to a wide range of animals. Who was the mother of King Edward VI of England? Jane Seymour. Jane Seymour was the third wife of King Henry VIII and the only one to bear him a male heir, Edward VI. She died shortly after Edward's birth due to complications, making her a significant figure in Tudor history. A searemur is classified as what type of creature? Bird. A searemur is a large, long-legged terrestrial bird native to South America, belonging to the family Cariamidae. They are known for their distinctive calls and their ability to run quickly, often hunting small prey like insects, rodents, and reptiles. In Greek mythology, Aeolus was the ruler of which weather phenomenon? The winds. In Greek mythology, Aeolus was the divine keeper of the winds, mentioned prominently in Homer's Odyssey. He resided on the island of Aeolia and had the power to control and unleash the various winds, influencing maritime travel and weather. The river Danube flows into which major body of water? The Black Sea. The river Danube is the second longest river in Europe, flowing through 10 countries before emptying into the Black Sea. Its delta, a vast wetland, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site known for its rich biodiversity. What is the state capital of Tasmania? Hobart. Hobart is the capital city of Tasmania, an island state of Australia. Located on the estuary of the River Derwent, it is the second oldest capital city in Australia, after Sydney, and a significant port and cultural centre. The Valais is a canton of which European country? Switzerland. Valais is one of the 26 cantons of Switzerland, located in the southwestern part of the country. It is known for its high alpine peaks, including the Matterhorn, and for its significant wine production. On which British overseas territory was fashion designer John Galliano born? Gibraltar. Gibraltar is a British overseas territory located at the southern tip of the Iberian Peninsula. It is strategically important due to its position at the entrance to the Mediterranean Sea and is a historical point of interest. What is the name of the famous U.S. military academy in New York? West Point. The United States Military Academy at West Point, New York, is a prestigious federal service academy. It trains cadets to become officers in the United States Army and is renowned for its rigorous academic and military curriculum. What is the official language of Nigeria? English. English is the official language of Nigeria, a legacy of British colonial rule. While various indigenous languages are widely spoken, English serves as the lingua franca for government, education, and business across the diverse nation. prudence, justice, temperance and fortitude are the four cardinal, what? Virtues. The four cardinal virtues, prudence, justice, temperance, and fortitude, are a set of moral virtues recognized in classical philosophy, notably by Plato and Aristotle, and adopted by Christian theology. They are considered fundamental dispositions essential for a morally good life. Which British monarch was the last emperor of India? King George VI. King George VI was the last emperor of India, holding the title until India gained independence in August 1947. His reign as monarch, 1936 to 1952, coincided with the significant geopolitical shift of the dissolution of the British Empire. The seaport of Dar es Salaam is in which African country? Tanzania. Dar es Salaam is a major port city and former capital of Tanzania, serving as an important economic hub for East Africa. Its name means, House of Peace, in Arabic, reflecting its historical role as a trading center. The bouzouki is the traditional musical instrument of which European country? Greece. The bouzouki is a long-necked plucked lute, central to modern Greek music, particularly the rebetiko genre. It typically has 4 double strings and is known for its bright, metallic sound. What is the name of the coffee bean, the most expensive in the world, which is eaten and excreted by the civet? Kopi Luwak. Kopi Luwak is a rare and expensive coffee produced from coffee cherries that have been digested and excreted by the Asian palm civet. The civet's digestive enzymes alter the bean's protein structure, removing some acidity and leading to a smoother flavor profile. On a cat, vibrissae are more commonly known by what name? Whiskers. Vibrissae are specialized sensory hairs found on many mammals, including cats, commonly known as whiskers. These highly sensitive tactile receptors play a crucial role in navigation, hunting, and spatial awareness, helping animals perceive their surroundings. What was the surname of British horticulturalist and garden designer Gertrude, who died in 1932? Jekyll. Gertrude Jekyll, 1843 to 1932, was an influential British horticulturalist, garden designer, artist, and writer. She significantly impacted garden design, advocating for naturalistic planting schemes and combining hardy plants with architectural elements, often collaborating with architect Edwin Lutyens. The first Tesco store opened in 1929 in which Greater London town? Edgware, Burnt Oak. Tesco, one of the world's largest retailers, began as a market stall run by Jack Cohen in 1919. The first Tesco store officially opened in 1929 in Burnt Oak, Edgware, in Greater London, marking the beginning of its expansion into a major supermarket chain. Bankstown Airport is in which Australian state? New South Wales. Bankstown Airport is a major general aviation airport located in the suburb of Bankstown, Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. It serves as an important hub for flight training, maintenance, and freight operations in the Sydney region. The, now extinct, dodo was native to which island in the Indian Ocean? Mauritius. The dodo, Rhaphus cucullatus, was a flightless bird endemic to the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. It became extinct in the mid-17th century, largely due to human activity in the introduction of invasive species, serving as a prominent symbol of human-induced extinction. Sable is the heraldic term for which color? Black. In heraldry, sable is the term used to describe the color black. It is one of the 5 primary colors, or tinctures, used in coats of arms, alongside azure, blue, gules, red, vert, green, and purpure, purple, and is often depicted by horizontal and vertical lines in black and white drawings. The Kodiak bear is native to which US state? Alaska. The Kodiak bear, Ursus arctos middendorfi, is a subspecies of brown bear endemic to the Kodiak archipelago and other islands off the south-central coast of Alaska. It is one of the largest terrestrial predators globally, known for its considerable size and distinctive habitat. In which year was the Bank of France, Banque de France, established? 1800. The Banque de France, France's central bank, was founded in 1800 by Napoleon Bonaparte, primarily to stabilize the French economy post-revolution. It plays a crucial role in implementing monetary policy, maintaining financial stability, and issuing currency. Plutophobia is the irrational fear of what? Wealth. Plutophobia refers to the persistent and irrational fear of wealth or of rich people. This psychological condition can lead individuals to avoid situations involving money, financial success, or affluent individuals, often rooted in anxieties about responsibility or the perceived moral implications of wealth. Who was said to have ridden naked through the streets of Coventry in the 11th century? Lady Godiva. Lady Godiva is a legendary figure from 11th century England, famously associated with the ride through Coventry. This act was purportedly a protest against an oppressive tax imposed by her husband, Leofric, Earl of Mercia, making her a symbol of defiance. What is the U.S. state capital of Tennessee? Nashville. Nashville is the capital and most populous city of the U.S. state of Tennessee, situated on the Cumberland River. It is a significant hub for music, particularly country music, and also plays a crucial role in healthcare, banking, and transportation. A roc is what type of giant mythological creature, mentioned in the Arabian Nights? Bird. The roc is a legendary bird of immense size, deeply embedded in Middle Eastern mythology and popular Arabic folklore, most notably appearing in the tales of 1001 Nights, Arabian Nights. It is often depicted as a raptor capable of carrying off large animals like elephants. Which author wrote the 1886 novel, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Robert Louis Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson was a Scottish novelist and poet, widely known for his classic adventure stories. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, published in 1886, is a seminal work of Gothic fiction exploring themes of duality and the human psyche. What is the name for the bending of light as it passes from one medium to another? Refraction. Refraction is the phenomenon where light waves change direction as they pass obliquely from one transparent medium to another, such as from air to water. This change in direction occurs because the speed of light varies in different media. The Stonewall riots took place in which U.S. city in June 1969? New York. The Stonewall riots were a series of spontaneous demonstrations by members of the LGBTQ+ community against a police raid at the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village, New York City, in June 1969. These events are widely regarded as a pivotal moment in the fight for LGBTQ+ rights and the catalyst for the modern gay liberation movement. Which English monarch formed the Yeomen of the Guard? Henry VII. Henry VII, the first Tudor monarch of England, established the Yeomen of the Guard in 1485 following his victory at the Battle of Bosworth Field. This elite corps serves as the sovereign's ceremonial bodyguards and is one of the oldest military corps in existence. A durian is what type of foodstuff? Fruit. The durian is a large, spiky tropical fruit native to Southeast Asia, renowned for its distinctive strong odor and unique, creamy texture. It is often referred to as the king of fruits in its native region due to its celebrated taste and aroma. In the UK, an Act for the Better Securing the Liberty of the Subject, and for the prevention of imprisonment beyond the seas is commonly known by what name? The Habeas Corpus Act. The Habeas Corpus Act of 1679 is a landmark English statute that significantly strengthened the ancient common law writ of habeas corpus. It provides a legal remedy against unlawful imprisonment, ensuring that any person detained has the right to be brought before a court to determine the legality of their detention. U.S. President Herbert Hoover belonged to which political party? Republican Party. Herbert Hoover served as the 31st President of the United States from 1929 to 1933, representing the Republican Party. His presidency coincided with the onset of the Great Depression, for which he received significant criticism despite his efforts to address the economic crisis. What was the Roman name for the English city of Manchester? Mamucium. Mamucium was a Roman fort and settlement established around 79 AD in what is now modern-day Manchester, England. It served as a key strategic point along the Roman road network and eventually evolved into the significant urban center it is today. Which year is represented by the Roman numerals MCMLXXIV? 1974. Roman numerals use letters to represent numbers, with M equals 1000, C equals 100, L equals 50, X equals 10, V equals 5, and I equals 1. In MCMLXXIV, M equals 1000, CM equals 900, 1000 to 100, LXX equals 70, 50 plus 10 plus 10, and IV equals 4, 5 to 1, summing up to 1974. Which famous 1931 painting by Salvador Dali is commonly known as The Persistence of Memory? Salvador Dali's iconic 1931 painting, The Persistence of Memory, features melting clocks in a dreamlike landscape, exploring themes of time, decay, and the subconscious. It is a quintessential work of surrealism, known for its striking imagery and philosophical depth. Which renowned composer did Constanze Weber marry in 1782? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Constanze Weber married Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in St. Stephen's Cathedral, Vienna, in August 1782. She was the younger sister of Aloysia Weber, a soprano whom Mozart had previously pursued, and remained his wife until his death in 1791. In which month of the year is St. Patrick's Day observed? March. St. Patrick's Day is a cultural and religious holiday celebrated annually on March 17th. It commemorates the death of St. Patrick, the foremost patron saint of Ireland, with celebrations worldwide including parades, festivals, and the wearing of green attire. Pan troglodytes is the scientific name for which animal? Chimpanzee. Pan troglodytes is the binomial nomenclature for the common chimpanzee, a great ape native to the forests and savannas of tropical Africa. This scientific classification helps in uniquely identifying species and understanding their evolutionary relationships within the animal kingdom. The former Malagasy Republic is now known by what name? Madagascar. Madagascar, officially the Republic of Madagascar, is an island country in the Indian Ocean. It was known as the Malagasy Republic from 1958 until 1975 when it became the Democratic Republic of Madagascar, later reverting to the Republic of Madagascar. Pyongyang is the capital of which country? North Korea. Pyongyang is the capital and largest city of North Korea, officially the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK. It serves as the nation's political, economic, and cultural center. A hammercorp is what type of creature? Bird. The hammercorp, Scopus umbretta, is a medium-sized wading bird native to Africa, Madagascar, and Arabia. It is distinguished by its unique hammer-shaped head, from which it derives its common name. Ballet dancers Margot Fonteyn and Rudolf Nureyev first danced together at the 1962 Royal Ballet performance of which ballet? Giselle. Margot Fonteyn and Rudolf Nureyev formed one of the most iconic partnerships in ballet history. Their legendary collaboration began at the Royal Ballet in 1962 with a performance of Giselle, captivating audiences worldwide. In the human body, what does the disease leukemia affect? The blood. Leukemia is a type of cancer that originates in the blood-forming tissues, including the bone marrow and the lymphatic system. It is characterized by the overproduction of abnormal white blood cells, impairing the body's immune response. What is phonetics the study of? Speech sounds. Phonetics is a branch of linguistics dedicated to the scientific study of human speech sounds. It encompasses the physical production, acoustic properties, and auditory perception of these sounds. The Aleutian Islands are part of which U.S. state? Alaska. The Aleutian Islands are an archipelago of over 300 small volcanic islands belonging to the U.S. state of Alaska. Stretching into the northern Pacific Ocean, they are significant for their unique geography and strategic location. In 1930 in the UK, a speed limit of how many miles per hour was imposed on motorists in built-up areas? 30 miles per hour. In 1930, the UK Road Traffic Act introduced a national speed limit of 30 miles per hour for motorists in built-up areas. This legislative measure was a crucial step towards enhancing road safety and regulating vehicle speeds in urban environments. Scafell Pike is the highest mountain in which European country? England. Scafell Pike, at 978 meters, 3,209 feet above sea level, is the highest mountain in England and part of the Lake District National Park. It is a popular destination for hikers and mountaineers, offering challenging trails and panoramic views. For which type of machine did Isaac Singer obtain a U.S. patent in August 1851 for his significant improvements? Sewing machine. Isaac Merritt Singer obtained a patent for his improved sewing machine design in 1851, which included a foot pedal and a continuous stitch. His innovations made sewing machines more practical and accessible, revolutionizing the textile industry and domestic life. Which political party is generally considered the third largest in the United States by voter registration and national presence? Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party is the third largest political party in the United States, advocating for a minimal government role in both economic and social spheres. While its electoral success is limited, it consistently appears on ballots in most states and represents a distinct ideological viewpoint in American politics. In which month of the year is Australia Day celebrated? January. Australia Day is the official National Day of Australia, celebrated annually on January 26. It marks the anniversary of the 1788 arrival of the first fleet of British ships at Port Jackson, New South Wales, and the raising of the Union flag at Sydney Cove. The star of which historical figure appears on the national flag of Israel? David. The Star of David is a generally recognized symbol of Jewish identity and Judaism, appearing prominently on the flag of Israel. Its origins as a Jewish symbol are somewhat debated, but it has been widely adopted by Zionists since the late 19th century and became central to the design of the national flag. Who was the cartoonist known for creating the Saint Trinians series? Ronald Searle. Ronald Searle was a renowned British cartoonist and illustrator, best known for his Saint Trinian's School series of cartoons. His distinctive style and satirical humor captured the eccentricities of British society, making his work an important part of 20th century British art and caricature. What does the Latin phrase, "the die in diem," translate to in English? From day to day. The Latin phrase, "the die in diem," is commonly used in academic and legal contexts. It translates to, from day to day, or, daily, indicating something that happens on a daily basis or progresses incrementally. In medicine, dysphagia refers to difficulty in doing what? Swallowing. Dysphagia is a medical term denoting difficulty in swallowing. This condition can arise from various causes, including neurological disorders, structural abnormalities in the esophagus, or certain medical treatments. The town of Crotch Lake is located in which Canadian province? Ontario. Crotch Lake is a body of water and associated community situated within the province of Ontario, Canada. It is recognized as part of the extensive network of lakes and waterways in the region, popular for recreation. Claudia was the first name of the wife of which U.S. president? Lyndon B. Johnson. Claudia Alter Taylor Johnson, affectionately known as Lady Bird Johnson, was the wife of the 36th U.S. President, Lyndon B. Johnson. As First Lady, she was a dedicated advocate for highway beautification and environmental conservation. What is the cube root of 912,673? 97. The cube root of a number is a value that, when multiplied by itself 3 times, yields the original number. For 912,673, its cube root is 97, as 97 times 97 times 97 equals 912,673. Which South American country uses RCH as its International Vehicle Registration Code? Chile. Chile is the South American country identified by the International Vehicle Registration (IVR) code, RCH. These codes are standardized under the Geneva Convention on Road Traffic to denote the country of registration for motor vehicles in international travel. In which decade of the 20th century did the Alcatraz Island Federal Penitentiary close? 1960s. Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary, located on Alcatraz Island in San Francisco Bay, operated from 1934 to 1963. It was known for holding some of America's most dangerous criminals and closed primarily due to high operating costs and deteriorating facilities. What is the official language of Liechtenstein? German. Liechtenstein is a small, landlocked alpine country in Central Europe. German is its official language, reflecting its cultural and historical ties with German-speaking neighbors like Austria and Switzerland. Tony Lumpkin, Constance Neville, and George Hastings are all characters in which play by Irish author Oliver Goldsmith? She Stoops to Conquer. She Stoops to Conquer is a renowned comedic play by Oliver Goldsmith, first performed in 1773. It is a classic example of a laughing comedy, which aimed to elicit laughter from the audience rather than just polite applause, often satirizing the sentimental comedies popular at the time. Which mother and son were both Prime Ministers of India? Indira and Rajiv Gandhi. Indira Gandhi served as the third Prime Minister of India, from 1966 to 1977 and again from 1980 to 1984. Her son, Rajiv Gandhi, succeeded her after her assassination in 1984, serving until 1989. Both were prominent figures from the Indian National Congress Party. What is the largest brass section instrument in an orchestra? Tuba. The tuba is the largest and lowest pitched musical instrument in the brass family. It plays a foundational role in an orchestra's brass section, providing harmonic support and a deep, resonant tone. What was the name of the first human spaceflight in which Yuri Gagarin was sent into space in April 1961? Vostok 1. Vostok 1 was the Soviet spacecraft that carried Yuri Gagarin, making him the first human to journey into outer space on April 12, 1961. This monumental achievement marked a significant milestone in the space race and human exploration. In cooking, what is the main ingredient of a pongal dish? Rice. Pongal is a popular South Indian dish, primarily made with rice and lentils. It is also the name of a harvest festival celebrated in Tamil Nadu, India, symbolizing prosperity and gratitude. What colors make up the national flag of Switzerland? Red and white. The national flag of Switzerland features a white cross on a red square field. The white cross symbolizes Christianity and the nation's traditional values, while the red background is often associated with courage and sacrifice. Who designed the stained glass baptistry window for Coventry Cathedral? John Piper. John Piper was a prominent British artist, noted for his work in stained glass, especially the baptistry window for the new Coventry Cathedral, consecrated in 1962. His abstract design features a dramatic sunburst pattern, symbolizing new life and hope after the original cathedral's destruction in World War II. What is the name of the pathway in the human body along which food enters and solid wastes are expelled? Alimentary canal. The alimentary canal, also known as the gastrointestinal (GI) tract, is a continuous muscular tube extending from the mouth to the anus. It is responsible for the ingestion, digestion, absorption of nutrients, and the expulsion of undigested waste products from the body. In 1585, who established the first British colony in North America, which was later abandoned? Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh sponsored the Roanoke colony in 1585, making it the first English settlement attempt in North America. The colony, located in present-day North Carolina, famously disappeared without a trace by 1590, leading to its enduring mystery as the Lost Colony. Hydref is Welsh for which month of the year? October. Hydref is the Welsh word for the month of October. Welsh is a Celtic language spoken primarily in Wales and is one of the oldest living languages in Europe, with a rich literary tradition. Kelvinhall, Cowcaddens, and Kinning Park are all underground stations in which European city? Glasgow. Kelvinhall, Cowcaddens, and Kinning Park are stations on the Glasgow subway, one of the oldest underground railway systems in the world. Opened in 1896, it serves the city of Glasgow, Scotland, making it a key part of the city's public transport infrastructure. What was the former name of the Willis Tower in Chicago, USA? Sears Tower. The Willis Tower, a prominent skyscraper in Chicago, Illinois, was originally known as the Sears Tower from its completion in 1973 until 2009. It held the title of the world's tallest building for nearly 25 years. Puffer, angel, and dog are all types of which creature? Fish. Pufferfish, angelfish, and dogfish are all distinct types of fish, belonging to various families and orders within the aquatic vertebrate group. They illustrate the wide diversity of marine and freshwater life, each with unique characteristics and habitats. What is a male otter called? Dog. In zoological terminology, a male otter is referred to as a dog, while a female otter is called a bitch. A group of otters is known as a romp or raft, showcasing specialized terminology used in biology for animal groups and genders. Which flower is known as the wind flower? Anemone. The name, anemone, is derived from the Greek word, anemos, meaning wind, hence its common name, windflower. This genus of flowering plants belongs to the buttercup family Ranunculaceae and includes species that bloom in spring, summer, or autumn. Classic Judaism teaches that there will be no prophet greater than whom? Moses. In classic Judaism, Moses is revered as the greatest of all prophets, having received the Torah directly from God on Mount Sinai. His unique prophecy and leadership in liberating the Israelites from slavery define his unparalleled status in Jewish tradition. The Tatmadaw are the armed forces of which Asian country? Burma, Myanmar. The Tatmadaw is the official name of the armed forces of Myanmar, formerly known as Burma. This military institution has historically played a dominant role in the country's political landscape, influencing governance and security policies significantly. Who won the 1964 Nobel Peace Prize? Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964 for his tireless efforts to combat racial inequality through nonviolent civil disobedience. His leadership in the American civil rights movement inspired global movements for peace and justice. Which mushroom, also known as the death cap, is one of the most poisonous toadstools in the world? Amanita phalloides. The death cap mushroom, scientifically known as Amanita phalloides, is responsible for the vast majority of fatal mushroom poisonings worldwide. It contains potent amatoxins that severely damage the liver and kidneys, often leading to death if not treated promptly. The Orascom Business Group is based in which African country? Egypt. The Orascom Business Group is a prominent Egyptian conglomerate with diverse interests spanning construction, engineering, telecommunications, and tourism. Founded by the Sawiris family, it has grown to become a significant economic player across Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. A myna is what type of creature? Bird. A myna, or myna, is a species of passerine bird native to Asia, belonging to the starling family, Sternidae. These intelligent birds are known for their omnivorous diet, adaptability to human environments, and, in some species, their ability to mimic sounds and human speech. What is a Jewish place of worship called? Synagogue. A synagogue is a Jewish house of worship, prayer, and study. It serves as a central hub for religious observance, community gatherings, and often includes a school and social hall for Jewish communities worldwide. Which French king was the husband of Marie Antoinette? King Louis XVI. King Louis XVI was the last monarch of France before the French Revolution. His marriage to Marie Antoinette, an Austrian archduchess, was a political alliance intended to strengthen ties between France and Austria. Their reign ended tragically with their execution during the height of the revolution. Who became president of Argentina in October 1973 until his death in July 1974? Juan Perón. Juan Perón was an influential Argentine military officer and politician who served as president of Argentina 3 times. His political movement, Peronism, remains a significant force in Argentine politics. His brief third term in 1973-74 ended with his death, leaving a complex legacy in the nation's history. What is the smallest garden bird in Britain? Goldcrest. The goldcrest, Regulus regulus, is Europe's smallest bird, weighing only 5 to 7 grams. It is easily identified by its distinctive golden stripe on its head, which is particularly vibrant in males. Which Prime Minister opened Britain's first motorway? Harold Macmillan. Harold Macmillan, who served as Prime Minister from 1957 to 1963, inaugurated Britain's first motorway, the M1, on November 2, 1959. This event marked a significant milestone in the development of modern road infrastructure in the United Kingdom. Miranda, Ariel, and Umbriel are all moons of which planet in our solar system? Uranus. Miranda, Ariel, and Umbriel are among the 27 known moons orbiting Uranus, the seventh planet from the Sun. These moons are notable for their varied and complex surface features, indicating past geological activity and significant impacts. Who wrote the 1894 novel, The Jungle Book? Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling, a Nobel Prize laureate, authored The Jungle Book in 1894, a collection of fables including the renowned stories of Mowgli. The work explores themes of law, nature, and the wild, often through anthropomorphic animal characters. Fungophobia is the irrational fear of what? Daylight. Fungophobia is an intense and irrational fear of daylight, deriving its name from the Greek word, phungos, meaning light. It is a specific phobia that can severely impact an individual's daily activities and mental well-being. If a gemstone is cabochon cut, what hasn't it got? Facets. A cabochon cut is a style of gemstone shaping that results in a smooth, highly polished, and domed surface, without any flat facets. This cut is frequently used for opaque or semi-transparent stones to highlight their natural color, luster, or phenomena like asterism and chatoyancy. Which country hosted the 1968 Summer Olympic Games? Mexico. The 1968 Summer Olympics, officially known as the Games of the 19th Olympiad, were held in Mexico City, Mexico. This marked the first time the Olympic Games were staged in Latin America and a Spanish-speaking country, notable for both its historical significance and high-altitude challenges for athletes. What is the collective term for the indigenous people of Australia? Aboriginal Australians. The indigenous people of Australia are collectively referred to as Aboriginal Australians. They represent diverse nations and groups with distinct cultures, languages, and spiritual beliefs, having inhabited the continent for tens of thousands of years. Which domestic animal held sacred significance and was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians? The cat. Cats held a revered status in ancient Egyptian society, associated with divinity, protection, and fertility. The goddess Bastet, often depicted as a lioness or domestic cat, was a prominent deity, making cats central to their religious and cultural practices. Which battle is known as Custer's Last Stand? Battle of the Little Bighorn. The Battle of the Little Bighorn, also known as Custer's Last Stand, was fought in 1876 between the Lakota Sioux, Northern Cheyenne, and Arapaho tribes against the U.S. Army's 7th Cavalry Regiment. It resulted in a decisive victory for the Native American forces and the death of Lieutenant Colonel George Custer along with a significant portion of his command. What is the name of a long-bodied marine fish and a person who unscrupulously exploits or swindles others? Shark. A shark is a cartilaginous fish characterized by a fusiform body and powerful jaws, found in all oceans. In common parlance, shark is also used to describe a person who aggressively exploits or swindles others, often in business or finance. What is the national animal of Finland? Brown bear. The brown bear, Ursus arctos, is recognized as the national animal of Finland, symbolizing strength, wilderness, and the country's rich natural heritage. These majestic mammals are an integral part of Finnish folklore and forest ecosystems. How many squares are on a chessboard? 64. A standard chessboard consists of an 8x8 grid, meaning it has 64 individual squares of alternating colors. This fundamental characteristic is crucial for understanding chess piece movement and strategy. In the human body, molars, canines and incisors are all what? Teeth. Molars, canines, and incisors are all types of teeth found in the human dentition, each specialized for different functions. Incisors are for biting, canines for tearing, and molars for grinding food, facilitating digestion. Which group of islands lie off the coast of Normandy, France? Channel Islands. The Channel Islands are an archipelago located in the English Channel, off the coast of Normandy, France. They are British Crown dependencies, notable for their unique constitutional status and historical ties to both the UK and France. Former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher has what middle name? Hilda. Margaret Hilda Thatcher served as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1979 to 1990, becoming the longest-serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century. Known as the Iron Lady, her policies, known as Thatcherism, significantly reshaped British politics and economy. Cross, tail and head are all types of which weather condition? Wind. Crosswind, tailwind, and headwind are terms used to describe the direction of wind relative to an object's movement, especially in aviation or vehicle dynamics. A headwind blows against the direction of travel, a tailwind blows with it, and a crosswind blows perpendicular. Balmoral Castle is in which European country? Scotland. Balmoral Castle is a large estate house in Royal Deeside, Aberdeenshire, Scotland, famously known as a private residence of the British royal family. It serves as a retreat for the monarch, surrounded by the scenic Scottish Highlands. The English resort of Clacton-on-Sea lies on which body of water? North Sea. Clacton-on-Sea is a seaside town located on the Tendring Peninsula in Essex, England. It is situated along the coastline facing the North Sea, a marginal sea of the Atlantic Ocean bordered by several European countries. What color is the €10 banknote? Red. The €10 banknote, part of the Europa series, features a prominent red color scheme. Its design depicts a Romanesque arch on the obverse and a bridge from the same architectural period on the reverse, symbolizing communication and connection within Europe. Dice Airport is in which British city? Aberdeen. Dice Airport, officially known as Aberdeen International Airport, is located in Dice, a suburb of the city of Aberdeen in Scotland. It serves as a vital operational base for the North Sea oil and gas industry, making it one of the busiest commercial heliports globally. Who did Richard Nixon defeat in 1968 to become US President? Hubert H. Humphrey. Richard Nixon secured the U.S. presidency in 1968 by defeating the Democratic candidate, Hubert H. Humphrey. Humphrey, the incumbent vice president under Lyndon B. Johnson, ran on a platform largely aligned with Johnson's policies, including the controversial Vietnam War. The famous Man in the Iron Mask died in which prison in 1703? The Bastille. The mysterious Man in the Iron Mask was a prisoner held in several French prisons during the late 17th and early 18th centuries, eventually dying at the Bastille in 1703. His true identity remains a subject of historical debate and speculation, inspiring numerous literary and cinematic works. Selesmophobia is the fear of doing what? Stuttering. Selesmophobia is a specific phobia characterized by an intense and irrational fear of stuttering or stammering. Individuals with this condition may experience significant anxiety in situations where they perceive a risk of speech disfluency. What was the name of the motel in Tennessee where Martin Luther King Jr. was shot dead in 1968? Lorraine Motel. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, on April 4, 1968. This tragic event was a pivotal moment in the American civil rights movement, leading to widespread mourning and protests across the nation. During which month of 1971 did Britain change its currency to decimal? February. Britain officially adopted decimal currency on February 15, 1971, a day famously known as Decimal Day. This change replaced the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence with a simpler decimal system of 100 pence to the pound, streamlining financial transactions and aligning with most other international currencies. At which English castle in Northamptonshire was King Richard III born? Fotheringhay Castle. King Richard III, the last Plantagenet King of England, was born at Fotheringhay Castle in Northamptonshire in 1452. The castle, now largely ruins, was also famously the site of Mary, Queen of Scots' execution in 1587, highlighting its historical significance. Who was the mother of King Richard III of England? Cecily Neville, Duchess of York. Cecily Neville, Duchess of York, was the mother of King Richard III and also of King Edward IV. She was a prominent figure during the Wars of the Roses, earning the moniker, Rose of Raby, for her beauty and influence within the English aristocracy. Which English monarch was the elder brother of King Richard III? King Edward IV. King Edward IV was the elder brother of King Richard III and the first Yorkist King of England, reigning during the tumultuous Wars of the Roses. His death in 1483 led to the brief and controversial reign of Richard III, following the mysterious disappearance of Edward IV's sons. King Richard III was the last of the Plantagenet dynasty and the last king of which royal house? House of York. King Richard III was indeed the last monarch of the House of Plantagenet and the final king from the House of York. His death at the Battle of Bosworth Field marked the end of the Wars of the Roses and the beginning of the Tudor dynasty with Henry VII. What is the name of the battlefield where, traditionally, King Richard III of England died? Bosworth Field. King Richard III of England famously died at the Battle of Bosworth Field on August 22, 1485. This decisive battle marked the end of the Wars of the Roses and the Plantagenet dynasty, leading to the ascension of Henry Tudor, Henry VII, and the establishment of the Tudor dynasty. Who defeated King Richard III in the last battle of the Wars of the Roses? Henry Tudor, Henry VII. Henry Tudor, who subsequently became King Henry VII, decisively defeated King Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. This victory not only ended the Wars of the Roses but also initiated the powerful Tudor dynasty, significantly shaping the future course of English history. Before he became King of England, Richard III was Duke of, where? Gloucester. Richard III was Duke of Gloucester before ascending to the English throne in 1483. This title was a significant one, often granted to close relatives of the monarch, and provided him with land and influence in England. Who was the wife of King Richard III of England? Anne Neville. Anne Neville was the Queen Consort of England as the wife of King Richard III. Their marriage was strategically important, aiming to consolidate power within the houses of York and Warwick, though she died before him in 1485. Who was the only child of King Richard III of England and his Queen Consort? Edward of Middleham. Edward of Middleham was the only legitimate child of Richard III and Anne Neville. He was recognized as the Prince of Wales but tragically died young in 1484, which significantly weakened Richard III's claim to the throne and the stability of his reign. The English Wars of the Roses were fought between which two houses? York and Lancaster. The Wars of the Roses were a series of civil wars fought in England between 1455 and 1487. These conflicts were primarily between the House of Lancaster, symbolized by a red rose, and the House of York, symbolized by a white rose, both cadet branches of the royal House of Plantagenet, contending for the English throne. In English history, what color was the rose of the House of York? White. The white rose was the heraldic symbol of the House of York during the Wars of the Roses. This emblem distinguished them from the House of Lancaster, which adopted a red rose, making the floral symbols iconic representations of the warring factions. Richard III is a late 16th century play by which English playwright and poet? William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare's historical play, Richard III, dramatizes the reign of King Richard III of England. Written around 1593, it is one of Shakespeare's longest plays and portrays Richard as a Machiavellian villain driven by ambition and a physical deformity. Middleham Castle, where Richard III spent several years of his childhood, is in which English county? North Yorkshire. Middleham Castle, located in North Yorkshire, England, was a significant residence for Richard III during his youth. It served as a power base for the Neville family, to whom Annie Neville belonged, and later became an important centre for Richard. Who succeeded Richard III to the English throne? King Henry VII. King Henry VII succeeded Richard III after defeating him at the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. His ascension marked the end of the Wars of the Roses and the beginning of the Tudor dynasty, profoundly shaping English history. What was the nickname of King Richard III of England? Crookback or Crouchback. Richard III was often referred to as Crookback or Crouchback, primarily due to later Tudor propaganda that exaggerated his physical deformities. While he likely suffered from scoliosis, these nicknames were used to demonize him and justify Henry VII's usurpation of the throne. In which year did King Richard III of England die? 1485. King Richard III died in 1485 at the Battle of Bosworth Field, making him the last English king to die in battle. His death marked the decisive end of the Wars of the Roses and the Plantagenet dynasty, paving the way for the Tudor monarchy under Henry VII. What does the Latin phrase, amor siccus est, translate to in English? Love is blind. This well-known Latin proverb, amor siccus est, literally translates to, love is blind. It is a common expression used to convey the idea that when one is in love, they may overlook flaws or imperfections in their beloved or the situation. Who wrote the 1976 novel, Roots, the saga of an American family? Alex Haley. Alex Haley's Roots is a seminal work of American literature, tracing the lineage of Kunta Kinte, a Gambian who was abducted and sold into slavery in the United States. The novel, published in 1976, won a Pulitzer Prize and had a profound cultural impact, sparking widespread interest in genealogy and African American history. On which part of the body would a hawagwan be worn? Head. A hawagwan is a traditional Korean coronet or floral crown, historically worn by women, particularly during important ceremonies such as weddings or royal court events. This elaborate headpiece is a significant element of Korean traditional attire, symbolizing beauty, status, and cultural heritage. How many zeros are in a US billion? 9. In the short scale system, which is standard in the United States and many other English-speaking countries, a billion is defined as 10 to the power of 9, meaning 1 followed by 9 zeros. This differs from the long scale system, used in some European countries, where a billion equals 10 to the power of 12. Innsbruck is the capital of which Austrian state? Tyrol. Innsbruck is the capital city of Tyrol, one of the 9 states, Bundesländer, of Austria. Located in the Inn Valley amid the Austrian Alps, it is renowned globally as a winter sports hub and boasts a rich imperial history. What is the process of gathering fabric by means of drawn or elasticated threads in parallel rows? Shirring. Shirring is a textile technique where fabric is gathered tightly into parallel rows using elastic thread or multiple lines of stitching. This process creates a decorative, ruffled, or pleated effect, often used to add texture, volume, or elasticity to garments and other textile items. Northern Rhodesia is now known by what name? Zambia. Northern Rhodesia was a British protectorate in South-Central Africa that gained independence on October 24, 1964. Upon achieving sovereignty, it was renamed Zambia, a name derived from the Zambezi River. Thermodynamics is the study of what? Heat. Thermodynamics is a fundamental branch of physics that deals with the relationships between heat and other forms of energy and work. It describes how thermal energy is converted to and from other forms and how it affects matter, governed by a set of foundational laws. Phong Nha Bang National Park is located in which country? Vietnam. Phong Nha Bang National Park, located in the Quang Binh province of Vietnam, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is renowned for its karst formations, numerous caves, and underground rivers, housing some of the world's largest caves, including Sun Dune Cave.